Imagine this. A routine traffic stop takes a shocking turn when a police officer singles out a black man for no reason other than the color of his skin. The officer's tone is sharp, his words dripping with bias as he tries to assert dominance. The man remains calm, though the tension in the air is undeniable. Each question from the officer is more invasive than the last, every action a blatant abuse of power. But then something unexpected happens. The man reaches into his pocket, not out of fear, but with quiet confidence, and reveals something that changes everything. The officer's smug expression vanishes, replaced by shock and disbelief. What could this man have possibly revealed to turn the tables so dramatically? You won't believe the twist in this story, a moment that proves courage and integrity can outshine even the darkest moments of injustice. Stay tuned. As the officer stands frozen, staring at what the man just revealed, a wave of confusion spreads among the onlookers who have started gathering nearby. Whispers ripple through the small crowd, but no one dares to intervene. The man, still calm and composed, locks eyes with the officer, his gaze steady and unwavering. This isn't his first encounter with unfair treatment, and it's clear he has no intention of backing down this time. The officer's tone shifts slightly, but his body language still screams authority, an authority he's clearly not used to having questioned. "What's this supposed to mean?" he barks, trying to regain control of the situation. The man doesn't flinch. Instead, he begins to speak, his words measured and precise. Each sentence reveals a little more about who he is, but not enough to satisfy the growing curiosity of everyone watching. The tension keeps building. What's his story? The officer shifts uncomfortably, his confidence faltering as he tries to process the situation. The man's calm demeanor doesn't match the officer's expectations, and it's clear this isn't going the way he anticipated. He glances at the badge in the man's hand, its weight far greater than its size suggests. The onlookers lean in closer, straining to catch the words exchanged between the two. The man doesn't raise his voice. Instead, his tone is firm but respectful as he explains his position, one that holds significant authority over the officer. Each word lands like a carefully aimed strike, dismantling the officer's presumed control. A woman in the crowd whispers to her friend, "Who is this guy?" But the answer remains unclear. Still, the officer hesitates, torn between backing down and maintaining his power. The man, however, is not done speaking. With every passing second, the truth inches closer to being revealed. The officer's face reddens as the man's words sink in, each one dismantling the fragile authority he's clinging to. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. The crowd grows larger, their murmurs louder, but no one dares to step forward. Everyone senses that something big is about to happen. The man remains composed, his expression unchanging as he carefully lays out facts the officer can't ignore. He speaks of laws, procedures, and responsibilities, topics the officer should know but has clearly disregarded. The badge in his hand isn't just a prop. It's a symbol of accountability, a reminder that power comes with limits. The officer's eyes dart to the crowd, then back to the man. His hand hovers near his radio, uncertainty written all over his face. The man pauses for a moment, letting the silence stretch unbearably long. Then, in a voice both commanding and calm, he says something that sends a ripple of shock through everyone present. The officer freezes, his confidence unraveling as the man's words hang in the air. The crowd falls silent, their curiosity now replaced with a sense of unease. Just as it seems the situation couldn't grow more intense, another figure steps forward from the edge of the gathering. It's an older gentleman, quietly dressed, his face lined with wisdom and resolve. He locks eyes with the man, and for a moment, they exchange a knowing look. The man gives a subtle nod, and the older gentleman turns toward the officer. His voice is calm but carries a weight that instantly commands attention. He begins to recount events that the officer clearly hoped would never come to light, patterns of misconduct that had been quietly swept under the rug. Each detail adds a new layer to the conflict, and the crowd's whispers turn into gasps. Now, the officer isn't just facing one person, he's facing the truth, and it's closing in fast. The crowd watches in stunned silence as the older gentleman finishes speaking, his words cutting through the tension like a knife. The officer's bravado is gone, replaced by visible panic. He stammers, trying to defend himself, but his excuses fall flat under the weight of the mounting evidence. The man steps forward again, his calm confidence unwavering. Then comes the moment no one expected. The man reveals not just his own badge, but an official document, a direct order for an investigation into the officer's conduct. It's signed by a higher authority, one the officer cannot argue with. The crowd erupts, their early attention transforming into murmurs of approval. But just as the officer seems completely defeated, the man adds one final revelation. This isn't just about him. His presence here is part of a larger effort to address abuses in the entire precinct. The officer's face pales further, and the weight of accountability finally falls. Justice has arrived, but the fight is far from over. As the officer lowers his head in defeat, the man addresses the crowd, his voice steady and filled with purpose. He explains that justice isn't just about holding one person accountable, it's about creating change, ensuring that no one else has to face this kind of treatment. The older gentleman steps forward again, offering words of hope, urging everyone to stay vigilant and speak up when they witness injustice. The officer is escorted away, his authority stripped, and the crowd begins to disperse. Some stop to thank the man, their gratitude evident in their voices. Others walk away, deep in thought, reflecting on what they just witnessed. The man takes a moment to look around, a quiet determination in his eyes. While this victory is significant, he knows it's only the beginning of a larger fight. As he turns and walks away, his message lingers. True power lies in standing up for what's right.